It's your Nashville Community Picks, presented by NashvillePicks.com.
Nashville Picks, community resource. We are here with John Roberts, a Music Row attorney, talking about copyright.
Hi. A lot of people come into my office and ask some very basic questions. The first question is always, what actually can be copyrighted? Well, there are some pretty standard things that are copyrighted, especially in a town like Nashville. The first is going to be a musical composition. The second is going to be a sound recording. For each of those different aspects of the publishing industry or the recording industry, each of those can be separately copyrighted and should be separately copyrighted. But copyright protection extends to a lot more than just musical compositions or sound recordings. It extends to maps or blueprints or greeting cards or jewelry. Some folks will go so far as to copyright things like a necktie pattern. In some cases, a company like Michelin will actually go in and copyright the treads on their tires. So copyright extension or copyright protection actually extends to a bunch of different avenues, a bunch of different aspects of publishing in and of itself. Now, you may ask yourself, what do I get by securing a copyright? Well, by securing a copyright, you get the exclusive right to reproduce the work, meaning that no one else besides you has the right to reproduce that work. The exclusive right to perform the work, which means you're the only person that can actually perform it without being paid. The exclusive right to display the work, the exclusive right to make derivative works. A derivative work, of course, is based upon a previously copyrighted work. It's basically almost a sequel provision. And then the exclusive right to control the distribution of your work. So no one can go out and start selling your work without your permission or without paying you. There are several different websites that encompass the protections of copyright or will give you guidance on the encompassing protection of copyrights. The first is always copyright.gov. Copyright.gov gives you access to all the forms that are required for securing copyright protection on your sound recordings or your musical compositions. The form SR, of course, is going to be for sound recordings, and they're listed that way generally for you to be able to go in and pull the correct file and download it, fill it out, and send it into the Copyright Office with the appropriate filing fee. Now you may ask yourself, do I really need to do all that? Is that necessary at this point? You know, the short answer is it's always better to have protection, but maybe not. The old poor man's copyright protection was writing down your song, writing down the notation, sticking it in an envelope and sending it to yourself and not opening it, and that would be verifiable proof. In this day and age, that's simply not realistic anymore. Copyright protection, of course, adheres to, quote, any original work of authorship that is fixed in a tangible medium of expression. That means if you can write it down, it belongs to you at the instant that you write it down. Okay, now, there are going to be some issues about how long does it actually adhere? How long does copyright protection actually protect your work? Pre-1978, before the Copyright Act came in, there were some differing issues. You had to go back and re-renew your provisions, but anything created after 1978, which in this case is probably going to be more relevant to you, you have the life of the author plus 70 years. So, once your copyright protection is granted, or once you, quote, fix it in a tangible medium of expression, you actually will have your life plus 70 years. If you write with someone else, it's the last surviving author plus 70 years. So I hope this helps as a general primer for what copyright actually protects and what it governs.